Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking in Quiet. My name is Tiana, aka Chef Don T, aka Tiana the Great, and today we're going to be making breakfast food. This is new. I don't normally make breakfast on camera, but I created a recipe for biscuits and gravy that I think will be perfect for you guys, especially like I always say with the holidays coming up. Perfect Christmas brunch meal, and we're going to start off with our sausage gravy. Now this is butterball turkey sausage. You can find it at any of your local stores. It's about $3 and change, but this can feed about 8 people. So, I mean, you do the math on that. But we're gonna get started with our sausage gravy. We're gonna take our large Tefal skillet. Again, this is the skillet that I have. Use whatever skillet that you have. And we're gonna put it in about medium to high heat and take 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and put that into the pan. And this is the Great Value unsalted butter. I swear by this stuff. My fridge always has unsalted butter in there. And so once this butter starts to melt, then we're gonna go ahead and add in our turkey sausage. So kind of leave that alone. For the time being, we have a cake pan. We don't have to spread, it's non-stick. And we're gonna go ahead and add our biscuits to it. Now, coming soon will be a biscuit tutorial, but for the sake of this recipe and the sake of time, we're gonna be doing store-bought biscuits. I prefer frozen biscuits, but on a budget, this will do. This came from Aldi, so again, whatever biscuit you like, we're gonna use that. And a lot of people hate these cans. I'm starting to hate them a little bit with these nails. Y'all like to tap it on the counter? I don't got time for that. And it Aint comes in here, and I like to put them together really, really closely. It makes it feel like it's homemade when you do it that way, because when you do a scratch biscuit, they are close together when they bake. Let's see. I thought we was gonna be able to get all 8 in there, but that's okay. That is okay. I might be able to. I got a little bit of time since the butter is melting. Oh, I think I did it, y'all. It's a little tight. It's okay. Now it's really gonna feel like homemade biscuits. You ain't gotta tell nobody about it from the stove. And we're gonna put that off to the side until we're ready to use those. Now I have already preheated our oven to 350 degrees. So those biscuits should take anywhere between 13 to 17 minutes. So once I have the ground turkey in there browning, then we can address the biscuits and put those in the oven. Butter is melting down nicely. Now normally I would probably serve this with some breakfast potatoes and some eggs and, you know, make it really jazz it up a little bit. Today we'll just be doing some simple scrambled eggs. So now that all the butter has melted, cutting a slit. I'm gonna get all that in there. And it is seasoned, but you know, it's seasoned as much as a normal breakfast sausage would be. So we're still gonna add a little bit of seasoning to it to make our gravy. But what we're doing right now is just breaking up that ground turkey sausage so that it can start browning and we can get this show on the road. And I tell y'all, cooking ain't perfect, cooking ain't quiet. I make mistakes, but the important thing is to bounce back from that. And not beat yourself up about if you made a mistake while cooking. because more than likely it can be fixed. Unless you just put too much salt. So if you're not good with measuring salt, maybe you leave the salt on the counter and let everybody put salt in for themselves. Or you use a measuring cup and do it that way. So we're gonna turn the heat up to high, just so that we can get some cooking on this meat. And what I'm gonna do is, because this is raw meat, we're just gonna wash this after each use. If you're new, cooking ain't quiet. It's that simple. Cooking is not quiet at all. Okay. And I know this is extra clean because we put a little bleach in our dish detergent, y'all. So we disinfected everything around here, okay? We ain't playing with nobody. As you can see, it's starting to bubble. And don't be eager to just start mixing because you see some action on the stove. Let it sit there. Let it sit there. I'm starting to get impatient myself, but one more minute of this before we start stirring. And while we're waiting on that to finish doing its thing, we'll get our flour ready. So, y'all see me looking down. I'm using the Bible, the Don T's Bible. Okay, coming soon, 2022. Okay, be on the lookout. And we're just gonna measure out 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Set that off to the side, and let's stir it up. Creates a lot of juice, which is good because we're gonna need that to absorb the flour once we put it in there. So what we're doing right now is basically just browning our ground turkey sausage. And once it is completely browned, we will add in the flour and put our biscuits in the oven. And we said wash after every use. So, while that's cooking, let's get our biscuits in and show y'all a couple little tricks in case you don't have something in your house. So, for instance, I ran out of chicken stock. What did I do? Took 2 cubes of this Maggi vegetable seasoning to 1 cup of hot water, and I put it in there in the microwave, or you can boil the water on the stove, and you make your own vegetable broth. If you need instructions or you want me to put it in down below, I could do that. But quick and easy way to make vegetable stock when you're in a pinch. Also, I ran out of half and half, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make my own. I'm going to make my own. I have some lactose-free milk and I have some heavy whipping cream. I see that pot back there getting busy. Gotta keep my eye on it. But I get excited when I'm able to show you guys just some kitchen hacks that I do. Don't quote me, this is just what I do. It works for me, so hey, just go with it. So we're gonna take about equal parts. We're gonna take 1/3 cup of lactose-free milk. I use lactose-free because that is my milk of choice. And I'm gonna take 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm just gonna mix that together to create our own half and half. Half milk, half cream. Hence the word half and half. I'm just gonna give that a mix and set that off to the side until we're ready to use that for our biscuits and gravy. Taking our cleaned spatula, our wooden spatula. I'm gonna break this up a little bit more. Now it's starting to fry. That's what we want. Remember, it's cooking down in butter. Just about cooked. Just about cooked. So, our Dante's Cooking Bible says to sprinkle the 1/4 cup of flour over the meat. And give that a stir. Because what we're going to do next is create a roux. And turn our heat down to medium. And just try to get all that visible flour cooked down before we add in our liquids. Okay, so we got as much of that flour cooked down as we could, and we're gonna go in with about a cup of that homemade vegetable broth. And if they have turkey broth, you can find turkey broth and use that too. If you don't want to use vegetable broth, that is perfectly fine. If you want to use chicken broth, you can do that too. But I just prefer vegetable, since you already have, you know, the meat going on. So just let that cook and you will see it instantly start to thicken up. And this is a quick and easy meal, especially if you have a house full of guests. Go down there, brown you up some sausage. You don't have to be turkey, but we don't eat a lot of pork. Do what sausage is good for you. You can make this recipe vegan. Substitute this for a vegan sausage and a plant-based milk and creamer. See, it's nice and thick. Oh, yes. Okay, so we're gonna turn it down some. And to that, we're gonna start adding in our seasoning. So, got our measuring cups. And we're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of black pepper. This recipe calls for lots of black pepper because Biscuits and Gravy, I feel like it's known for the black pepper. At least, I like mine peppery. And then we're gonna go in with a 4 teaspoon of ground clove. We're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Same with our garlic powder. We'll do 1/2 teaspoon. And we're doing some poultry seasoning, a 1/4 teaspoon. And lastly, our seasoning salt. And we're going in with, what does our Bible say? 1 teaspoon of seasoning salt. Okay. And we're gonna give that a stir. You're probably saying, that looks too thick. I know. Work with me here. And that clove just gives it such a nice, warm spice to it. And we're grabbing our half and half mixture. This is about 1 cup. And this is where you get that color from. That color that people are used to seeing when they go and serve themselves some biscuits and gravy. Give it a nice stir. And for the most part, we're just about done making some breakfast. Give it a nice stir. Make sure there's no lumps. Make sure there's enough liquid in there. It smells so good. And the thickness of it just depends on how thick you like your biscuits and gravy. I'm probably gonna go in with another 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of lactose-free milk, just to make it a little bit more creamy for my liking. But if this measurement is good for you and you like how thick it is, hey, you don't have to add any more liquid, but you can. Or if you want to go in with more of that vegetable broth or chicken broth, you can do that too. You can add in a splash of white wine if you want to jazz it up a little bit. It's really up to you. We're just gonna let this simmer. And once it's done simmering, we're going to add in a little bit more of that liquid. And our sausage gravy will be done. So we're gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes. And we'll have our 1/3 cup of lactose-free milk just sitting off to the side, waiting for it to finish simmering. And we'll put these back up. And of course, it needs to simmer with a piece of oil. And I have that on medium heat. Now that the gravy's done, well, I don't gotta add nothing else to it. Let's check our biscuits. Okay, them definitely need them full 17 minutes because they're looking a little bright. Yeah. Let that go. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so to let y'all know how everything's looking. So welcome back, y'all. We have let our gravy simmer for 10 minutes. As promised, we're gonna throw in a 1/3 cup of that lactose-free milk, just to give it a little bit more juice. I wanted it to be a little bit more looser, so I added in that 1/3 cup of milk, and we're pretty much just gonna stir it in and turn off our eye, because our sausage gravy is now done. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so now that our sausage gravy is done, I'm gonna move our pot and place our smaller pan on the eye because we're gonna make some eggs as promised. And we're gonna take our biscuits out the oven that are now golden brown. Those look like they came from grandma's kitchen and she made them from scratch. Okay. And we're gonna put a little bit of that unsalted butter on top of our biscuits. Again, you're baking your biscuits according to the packaging. And that took about 17 minutes to bake these biscuits. Okay, we're also gonna use some of that butter in our pan for our eggs. And just grease it up. And crack our eggs. Now these are fresh from the booty eggs. We got them from our local farmer. And I like to just add them to 2 regular eggs. Sometimes I throw in some egg whites. But today we're just gonna keep it simple. Turn our heat down some, make sure it don't burn. And I like to sprinkle a little bit of seasoning salt and a little bit of black pepper. And we're going to whisk our eggs. And what I like is that the yolk from the fresh chicken eggs is much, much darker than that of a store-bought chicken egg. Can't assume that everyone knows how to cook eggs, so pretty much just let them cook. And to be safe, to make sure that they don't stick, I'm gonna add a little bit more butter to our eggs. And just work that around. Now, some people say you're not supposed to cook eggs on high, but just let them go low and slow. Listen, it's however you cook your eggs. However you cook them. Just don't burn them. So while our eggs are doing its thing, I'll go ahead. Hope y'all can see me. We're gonna make a drink. Let's move our biscuits. Look at that. See the strawberry? Make it real cute. Got some old-fashioned lemonade from the supermarket. And we got some gold tequila. Pour it all in there. Then we're gonna take another one of our huge strawberries. Cut it up nicely. To create pretty much a spiked strawberry lemonade. Perfect for this meal. And those strawberries are so sweet. Oh my God. And because they put the liquor on top, give it a swirl. And set that off to the side. So we have a brunch, y'all. We have a brunch. Sometimes people don't have champagne. Sometimes they don't have champagne. And I be trying to use a little non-stick stuff, y'all. Because you're not supposed to use this. But the little non-stick stuff don't be getting to the bottom of the pan. And I don't like that. Turn my eggs up some. They're taking a minute. Probably got another 1 or 2 minutes on our eggs. So let me start plating. So good. Some people like to split their biscuits. You don't got to. You don't gotta split them. And remember, the gravy thickens because it has flour in it. So if you want to add more liquid, by all means, do that. Do that. Our eggs are done. And for some reason we're adding champagne to tequila. But okay. Interesting combination. Very interesting. So, this is the moment that we all been waiting for right here. We got our drink. Let's see. Dangerous. And let's try. Let's see. Ooh, it's hot. I'm nervous. And I'm always nervous when the food pipe is hot. It's so warm. Woo! It's so hot and it's so good, y'all. Oh my God. Listen. The ingredients will be posted down below. Y'all have to make this. The Dante's Bible is coming soon. And I'll see y'all next week.